Hey everybody, it's Mike and Jennifer. Delighted to be with you on our virtual campground. It's Friday night again. How are you all? We are delighted to see so many of you, and what a beautiful day we are having here today. We're coming to you from Okaloosa Island, Florida, and if you stay tuned, we have a little video for you. We made a video we'll do a world premiere. We've never done that before, have we?
We must have.
No, I don't think we ever had. So we shot a little video for you today, and we'll show you that in a couple of minutes. But it is really nice to be with you. Partial opening of some state parks in Florida coming Monday, but only the parks in the northern part of the state, and no camping. So that's not looking too good for those. The good news is the beaches opened, at least in much of Florida today, under some restrictions. We had some here. We just came in from the beach, and as we said, I'm looking out right now, and I actually see the beach patrol talking to a family. It's a family. I counted 9 people there, and I don't know if you can see them. Maybe there's a tent. Maybe there's a little kid. I don't know, but anyway, the beaches are open. Everybody is thrilled to have that, and we are too. There's a little beach access place right to the north of us here, right next door, and all the parking spots are filled. All of them. There's a golf cart I see out there, and there's about 20 spots there.
The local people are glad to finally get to enjoy the beach because that's why they live here. They want to go in the Gulf.
And oh my gosh, if you look at the weather forecast for down here in Florida, it's like sunny, just that sun, the beautiful sun, 80 degrees every day for as far as you can see, and people are thrilled. I don't know where you are, but I hope you are seeing some relief. Much of the country starting to reopen, and that's pretty good. Again, we got a video coming up, and we'll show you that, but let's do always the first person to say hello is Linda Ward, and she's in Mercer County, New Jersey, where we got to see the Blue Angels.
Oh, they're fun.
And the Thunderbirds coming and going on Tuesday. Oh, my goodness. It was quite a spectacular thing to see. We're spoiled down here on the Emerald Coast where we are because the Blue Angels are based just up the coast in Pensacola, and they practice. In fact, if you're up here, you can go and you can watch them practice right on the tarmac. It's just a great show. So everybody's getting a chance to see them and the Thunderbirds. I flew with the Blue Angels once in my journalism days, and it was one of the highlights. It was really neat. Okay, second question comes from Mike Snow. He says, is the RV Motorhome Hall of Fame in Elkhart, Indiana worth a stop?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Lots of fun.
We have a video here on the channel if you want to look it up. There is one that we did, a full tour. We got the director to take us around and show us, and some really interesting stuff there.
Yeah, it was really super, super wonderful with the director showing us around and telling us about everything.
Yeah.
We were spoiled.
Well, shall we show our little video? Let's do that. As we said, the beaches opened here this morning for the first time since middle of March, and it was pretty exciting. So I think the sound is going to work, and I'm hoping the sound is there. But let me roll the video, and we'll make sure you can hear it. So this is a video we put together just for you, just for the virtual campfire. So pull your chairs a little closer to the fire, enjoy the happy hour, and here's a short little video about what it's like to finally have that little glimmer of hope, which we see with the beaches starting to reopen. Good morning. It is a little bit after sunup on Friday, May 1st, and wow, the beaches are open. This is the first time since mid-March that the beaches here along this stretch of the Panhandle up by Destin, we're on Okaloosa Island. First time that they have been opened, and it's kind of an experiment. They're trying it now for about 2.5 hours right around sunrise and 2.5 hours before sunset. The beach is, well, there's probably I can see maybe 100 people if I look up and down the beach. Maybe I'm looking over, I can see probably a mile both ways, and you can see people walking. They're keeping their distance. There's some fishermen out. There's a paddleboarder or two out. The beach patrol is here. They're going up and down the beach, making sure people aren't too far apart. Some folks have set up chairs and brought their morning coffee and are just sitting out on a glorious late spring day looking at the water, which is perfect. There's no wind. The water is flat and calm. It's really nice to see the beaches open again and have access to them. For a lot of people, this is the first real concrete sign that things are getting back to a sort of normal. Certainly a different normal than before, but when the beaches are open, you can just feel everybody's spirit lifting. In fact, there's a quiet out here, almost a reverence. It's nice to see things, at least in this part of the world, looking like there really is a glimmer of hope.
Our second shift of being allowed on the beach. There's the morning and this is the afternoon. It starts at 4:30 and it ends at sunset, and people are starting to trickle out and enjoy the sand and the beautiful water, the breeze, the sun. It's beautiful out here. I'm seeing lots of happy faces, lots of smile. There's a lot more young people out later in the day versus the 6:30 in the morning crowd. But everybody's social distancing and just enjoying the beauty of creation.
And there you go. That's a quick look of what it's like out on the beach. You know, I just realized we probably could have done this remote. We could have done this whole campfire remote from the beach right now.
Yeah, should have.
Well, if we do one next week, maybe we'll try that. We will try that. So it's pretty nice. And like we said, there's a glimmer of hope. There's a feeling that we're over this. And I think not yet, but it's coming.
Yeah, so many cars are on the road now. Everybody's going here and there and taking walks, and people are getting out. But the weather is so nice.
Yeah, there was just a lot more. I don't know how about your area, but did you notice a lot more traffic? It's almost as if people are saying, heck with it. Enough. 2 months of being locked down, we're going. I don't know. Many of the states are opening, and they're slowly taking their first steps, and that is exciting. So with that in question, let's get to some of your questions. I appreciate if you would type all in caps, question or comment. That way we'll know what it is and we can take them. And we always like to hear you all say hello, but so many people come on and we don't want to miss questions. So if you don't type all caps, I probably will miss it because we're trying to answer the questions and run the campfire. Speaking of which, we brought our favorite beverage, which is crystal clear water. Water. You got to keep yourself hydrated. But I hope you brought a beverage to the campfire today. Cheryl Cox, I saw your interview with Traveling Robert that posted today. Yes, Traveling Robert's a friend of ours, and I think we're on his either his podcast or his YouTube channel or both today. He said, you're talking of traveling to Alaska in the future. Someday, yeah, if we can get the time. It's the time we need, about 3 to 4 months to do it right. My husband wants to go there in our Concorde. What kind of mileage do you get? In our vehicle, we get 13 and a half, 14 miles a gallon, pretty much. Of course, fuel is cheap now, and that's really nice.
Because nobody's driving.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. Kathy asked a question. Says, I live in Tucson, just got a fifth wheel and want to try it out. Have any recommendations a few hours away in our first trip? Oh my gosh, you're in Arizona. You have so many places to go. You know, probably I have two favorite places in Arizona. You may have more. First is right near you, the Saguaro National Forest. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Find a campground near there. And the second is way to the north, up at the Grand Canyon. And there's plenty in between. Go to some BLM land, camp at Quartzsite.
Depends on how many miles you want to go. Just make a circle. How many miles you want to go and see what's in that area.
Yeah, just so many. Over by Yuma, there's the Kofa National Wildlife Refuge and great boondocking there. That's where we saw that mine,
Yes.
that awesome abandoned mine. There's a video. We just put a bunch of Arizona videos up on the channel, Kathy. So give it a try. Did you go camping when you were a kid? From Michelle, Jennifer.
I did, but I think of it. We borrowed a tent from somebody, and my whole family went in a tent once. That I remember. Our camping happened when we got married. Then we took off camping.
I never camped out until we got married, and we bought shortly. We had how many kids did we have?
None.
We had when we first started.
It was a while. We had a 13-foot Shasta
Yeah.
and one child.
One child back then. So we got a 13-foot little travel trailer and
No bathroom.
No bathroom. Had a porta potty. That's why I don't think much of composting toilets or compact cassette toilets. I don't like those either. So, but that's just my thing. Those were bad days on that porta potty day. But since we started marrying, you really kind of introduced me to camping. Yeah, I don't know how that all came about. I did deer hunt, and I think I camped out a couple of times in the woods. As I grew up, my father took me hunting a lot, but I never went camping until after we got married. And we've as we talked about this, I think last week. Many people ask us. We did a travel trailer, and then we got a pop-up camper, and then we went to tents, and then we took a hiatus. As the kids grew and careers took us busy, and then we started this again about going on 9 years ago now. So it's been fun. Lots of you checking in from all over the country, and you can see it in the chat. I appreciate everybody saying hi. I'll come back and pick up some of them if I can, but I don't want to miss any of the questions. And if you type in question, we'll get it. If you type in comment, we'll pick those up. But most of you are just saying hi, and we'll say hi back. And that means we got an easier show today. Without questions, we don't have anything to say. Rose says, thank you for the help in finding a campsite in Du Bois, Wyoming. We talked about that. I think we talked about that Sunday on Ask Us Anything. We had luck, and we made our reservations for July. Excellent. That is excellent. I did have a question. Where was that? Somebody did ask a question about if it was safe to go out. I kind of try and go back, and I'll see if I can find it. But I lost it. Somebody wanted to know if it was safe to go out, but doggone it, I can't find it. And this is my problem. If I have to hunt and peck like this, I miss all of it's impossible to do. So if you don't type all caps, I'm not taking it because I will be missing stuff. Somebody wanted to know, and I'm sorry if I can't find your question now. They wanted to know if they wanted to go someplace, they're feeling safe, and I think they're in Central Florida, and they wanted to know about
going north.
Yes, you saw it too.
Yes, I did see. I caught a glimpse of it.
Yeah, if you don't type caps, again, type caps. We'll find it. I would not travel now. I would wait a couple of weeks. Without
Depends
getting
on where north you're going.
Yeah. Look, there's so much. I'm not saying out of school. There's so much politics connected to this now that it's become almost a left, right, liberal, conservative issue. And I don't see it ending until after the election, if then. So be careful. Choose your place wisely. Some places are opening up. I did see some places that don't want any out-of-state people visiting, and that's not always good to hear. So I think you need to wait a week or two. Most places are just going into that phase 1. You want at least phase 2 or phase 3. But just wait and see, I guess, what shakes loose. So it's going to be an easy show tonight because we just have people saying hi, which we love, but I'm not getting any questions, so that's very good. Here's one from somebody put comment, please, how many times in caps, and I'll find them. We had some restrictions lifted in Nova Scotia today. Beaches and campgrounds are still closed except seasonal. We're hanging in there. Thank you so much for the campfires. Well, great to have you. Two dreaming. Do you see what I see? Two haircuts.
No, you don't.
I wish I need a haircut.
He needs one.
Yeah, I think maybe as I comb my hair this time, but they didn't open those out. They didn't open them up. Here's Eileen. Thanks for the video. Are the campgrounds starting to open? Not in Florida at this point. They did not open the campgrounds, and they did not open any of the state parks in South Florida, in the Miami-Dade area. They did announce today that they are opening them for limited day use, and but no camping at this point. And that's coming. That will probably be soon. People think I had a haircut. Do I really look like I don't? Did Jennifer get you to the hairdresser, or did Mike give you a hair? Oh, Jennifer, did you get to the hairdresser, or did Mike give you a trim? I gave her a trim. No, it's just
Had it slicked back.
Slicked back. We were outside in the wind, and I think that comes about. So, Jim is up the road here in Shalimar, Florida, heading to the beach tomorrow. Great to have you on the Gulf Coast. Yep. Well, this is our second home, Jim, and we love the Gulf Coast. I'm amazed. I think all the people that are out there, and none of them are crowding, but there's a considerable number of them at sunset, more than there were at 6:30 this morning when I went out.
No kidding.
Yeah. Well, it was. I thought it was just awesome this morning. It's awesome right now. But I think most of the people are locals here. There's very few tourists yet. The short-term rental industry is still closed in Florida. So these are all locals, and that's pretty neat. Somebody thinks, boy, they all think we had haircuts. Somebody said, loves your hair. It looks like it was frosted.
I'm getting so bleached out from being down here. It's crazy.
Yeah. Here's somebody her neighbor went all the way to Atlanta to get her hair done since they're open. I think that's what, you saw all these protests around the country. Wait till people can't get their hair and their nails done. Then you're going to see some really angry people.
Well, they can't get their hair and nails done. What do you think all this tension
I
is
know.
about?
I think it's going to get even more.
All those guys have to go home and live with their women.
To Dreamin', the past 2 days have been just beautiful. They opened the beaches in Panama City Beach. It's PCB with no restrictions. Short-term rental is still a no until the governor issues a no order. It's very confusing because he has allowed the beaches to be open, but the locals have to set it. So Panama City Beaches, Bay County in Florida, totally open. Walton County, which is right near us, totally open. The city of Destin, just a couple miles up the beach, totally open. Okaloosa County, where we are, only open for about 2.5 hours at sunrise and right before sunset. Now, they say they will change that in a week and probably fully open them. And then all the way to our west in Santa Rosa and Escambia counties, they're open again, all the beaches, all the way through. So, my goodness, Jen, I should take you outside more often in the wind. Everybody's saying, did Jen get a haircut? Let's see. Yes, our Florida Indians love our beaches and are so thankful to be able to put our feet in the sand once again. Isn't that the
That's
truth?
why you live in Florida.
Yes.
Is because of the water.
Yeah.
And the sand.
Yeah, and it was so nice.
And I think
to be
it
out
was
there.
the reason you lost that privilege is because of tourists.
Yeah.
They didn't want people coming.
And that was during spring break, and it was some bad press.
And spring break, it was bad.
And if you remember, it wasn't so bad up here, but it was bad in Fort Lauderdale. Yeah. It's true. The longer you live down here, the more you don't want tourists. Even though many of us rent our places out to tourists, it's really nice just to be with the locals. And I suppose we're not considered a local because we're only here half the time. We are going to buy an RV in Florida. Would you recommend a repair shop in Florida to fix all the preventative maintenance issues? Sure. You can be comfortable. Our little secret, and I shouldn't say this because it's not really that much of a secret, and the more I talk about it, the more people do it and the harder it will become. But we are huge proponents in mobile RV service. and they're all around the country. We've used them in different states. These guys will come to you in a campground, or if you're on boondocking, just tell them where they are. They'll come. They usually have all the most common parts. They know what goes wrong. They're comfortable with plumbing and with air conditioning, slides that don't work. These guys can fix it, and they fix it fast. So I'm not really concerned about repairing an RV, having a, quote, local dealership. Use a mobile repair service. Even back in Michigan, when I have routine things done, I call a mobile repair service. He comes and he does it in my driveway, and it's so reliable. Now, in terms of buying an RV in Florida, I take it you're from out of state, not a problem. You know, you want to make sure you take care of any state taxes you owe when you get your license plates and all of that stuff. And insurance has, every state has different insurance, but the dealer can help you wade through that. A dealer that we recommend to a lot of people is Sunshine State RVs over in Gainesville. They've been a sponsor of ours for years, but we know Nick. He's a friend of ours now, and think the world of him. So don't worry. And when you're traveling, or even back home, if you can't get into a dealership, a mobile repair service tech will be able to help you. My goodness, this is Jennifer's beauty area. We'll start another one. Jen, you have beautiful facial skin. What's your secret? Says Karen.
Maybe being in the sun and resting all the time and not getting to do anything.
My wife has serious cabin fever, as you know, because she's not exercising.
Somebody told me today that they opened up, I didn't tell you this, Gold's Gym.
No way.
And it was open for 3 hours before somebody turned them in.
Oh, my
And the
goodness.
police came and told them they had to close.
I'm so sick of people telling us what we can do and what we can't do. I know I can't go there, but Michigan campgrounds, let's not go with Michigan, won't open until June 22nd, says our friend Janet Matthews, for camping. Day use is now. Yeah, Janet.
It could be longer than that.
Could be longer from that. And again, I can't.
Can't go there.
I don't want to go there. Don't ask me about Michigan. But that's a shame, Janet, an absolute, total shame. I can understand in some areas, but the whole state, crazy. But like I said, it's become political just now as much as a health issue. Is that a camera trained on a particular view? It always seems to be in the same place.
Because we don't want to trip on it.
Sometimes
There's
it's
a
turned
small
that
room.
way. Yeah. Actually, I put it way against the wall, and that's the camera that we do most of our video work with, and I don't want it to fall off a table, so I back it up to the wall. You can't really see it, but that's our main video camera, and you can see it there. Can you please clarify if the generator is an option in an LTV Unity FX, or does it come as default? I don't know. I don't work for them. I think it's optional. I believe it's optional, but you can go to their site and easily look it up in their models. You certainly would want a generator, but if you don't, I think you could certainly negotiate one without one and save a couple $1,000. I don't know what it costs, but I don't know. I would never consider getting one without one. So check it out. But I think it is an option. Are the campgrounds starting to open on the Emerald Coast? Well, some of the private ones, I believe, are open. At least I see as we go up towards Navarre, between Destin and Pensacola, there are a couple of campgrounds there, and they have a lot of people in them. But there was a big, really nice resort one, Destin West, about a mile from us, totally empty.
Yeah,
So I
nobody's
assume
there.
it's closed. I do see people camping at the Elks Club, which is a great secret. If you're an Elks member, most of the Elks Clubs will let you camp there. And I've seen people in the Walmart parking lot. I know the state parks are closed to camping, but Camp Gulf, I know, up in Walton County, wanted to open. And in fact, they were protesting the governor's decision to keep private ones closed. But I don't know where they are in that, but I don't think they're open at all either at this point. They were on the news for protesting the shutdown. Hi from South Carolina. Our governor just opened up short-term rentals in South Carolina. New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut and other hotspots not allowed to book at this time. And state parks will open for new reservations on May 11th. Good for you, Sandy. I hope that is a trend that continues across the country. Let's see.
How are they going to know people are from New York and New Jersey and Connecticut? I mean, the license plates. I guess you gotta. I guess they're going to know. That just seems like it'd be hard to enforce.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, license plates probably. Two Dreamin' says Panama City Beach has tourists up and down the beaches, and you will see that happening all over. The economy will totally collapse if these places, these tourist towns that depend on tourism, they will be ghost towns. They will be ruined. So many lives. So you're going to see these places open, and that's one of the reasons I say just sit tight, wait until you see what happens. I see a rising tide of bitterness and anger on both sides. There are a lot of people who don't want anything to open. There are a lot of people who want to open. There are some people in the middle who say let's modify it. Everybody's yelling at each other, and I guess I wouldn't want to be an RV or just kind of going through some area and not know what I'm getting into. So let's wait and see what happens, and hopefully they will be opening. Some of the campgrounds, Linda, she sees, are opening in Yellowstone and Grand Teton National Parks. I've seen that too. There will be no restrooms available, however.
I think that's reasonable.
I think that's reasonable too. Yep. Let's a super chat. Thank you from Steve. Hello from the Poconos. No caps, just money. Hey, super chats always get noticed. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that.
That's cute. No
I think
caps.
you've done that before, Steve, and that is great. But what you don't know is, see, look, super chat gets when I get a super chat like that, it shows up in caps. So see, that's where we got the idea for having you write your questions and comments in caps, like James did. Did I hear right that Michigan camping starts May 17th? No, Michigan camping doesn't start May 17th. We just saw that somebody said that's not until June now. Hopefully that's June of 2020, but you don't know what Michigan will do. Sorry to hear that. Have you camped much in New Mexico? Thinking of going in July and would love to hear your thoughts. Love these chats.
I hope you don't have a pet, because you can't leave your pet with the
Unattended.
air conditioning on, unattended. You can't do that.
In Arizona?
It's against the law. Oh, am I thinking New Mexico?
You're thinking Arizona, not New Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah, but maybe Arizona. A lot of states
I don't
have
know.
that.
You better check.
Arizona has that, and other states do too. Arizona, New Mexico is a great state. To the north, you've got some mountains, and you can get up, and it can be extremely hot and dry and arid, but it's diverse. If you get up north, head up towards Albuquerque, lots of great camping up there. We stayed at a really nice casino just south of Albuquerque that was a brand new park. Remember that? It was our first campground when we got our RV last year. And I can't think of the name of it, but we really enjoyed that. It had a nice pool, a nice dog area, and it was at a casino that had a really good buffet dinner. But I hate casinos because
Too much smoke.
they allow people to smoke in there, and it reeks. So, but anyway, it was a nice place to stay. Being that it's slow, Mike, belt out some Campfire karaoke.
Oh, geez, you haven't heard Mike sing, have you? Well, I guess he didn't watch that one, but we were amusing ourselves with.
Yeah, we did. We've got an Alexa here.
And you were singing
And
with that.
I was so bored one day. I was doing Alexa karaoke, and we ran video, and it wasn't good. Sharon Childish says she's going to go to Georgia to get her hair and nails done.
I think a lot of people might be headed for Georgia.
Have you ever tried Thousand Trails, and what are your thoughts on their membership? Way too expensive. You can only get a membership that works in one region to get it to go nationally, because we travel across country. I would need a national one. It's just way too expensive. Now, a lot of people love Thousand Trails, so try it. We've stayed in one of their huge parks up in the Adirondack Mountains near Lake George, and we did a video on it in one of our Adirondack videos. It's there, but it was certainly not a place I would ever want to go back to. It was almost fun.
Because it was so different.
It was so different, and we ended up, there was like a street party going on, and but it was so huge, and not the kind of place I would ever want to camp again. But that's just our personal take. A lot of people love Thousand Trails. I think it's way too expensive. Um, Dr. Ch, do you see? I don't know what that is. Do you see RV makers going under from the effects of the shutdown? I don't. I see them. Actually, the demand is so high for RVs. I think they're going to do really well because everybody has this pent up demand. Most of the manufacturers are either now back in production or are ramping it up. Most of the products and the parts are being shipped now by the suppliers. They're coming back online. So I think you'll see it. There's going to be a major demand for them, and prices will probably not, if anything, go up. They will go up. They probably won't go down. But I don't see anybody going under.
You see that question, right? The question above it. Heading from Louisiana.
Okay, I'll come back. My wife and I are trying to decide if I should make the switch from a trailer to a B+. What do you like most about your B+?
That the bathroom is on the inside, that you can get up and walk around because you get tired of driving all the time. You can get up and stretch your legs. You can, I mean, you're probably not supposed to. Some states, I bet you can't walk around. But some states give you the liberty that if you want to be a human ping pong ball, you can. And others, you got to buckle up and don't you dare move. So it depends on what state you're in. But I like being able to get up and stretch or go lay down. I have made lunch on my knees on the floor making peanut butter and jelly because we had to get someplace.
Because we were bouncing around.
Right.
I love the fact that I'm not towing something, so I can pull in anywhere. And most, in 3/4 of every fast food restaurant, I can find a parking spot for it, and I don't have to juggle around when I get to a campsite trying to back in a trailer and negotiate all that. So lots of things we like about it.
But then when you're pulling a trailer, you unhook, you got your truck, you take off and go wherever you want. You're not pulling that thing.
And in my case, I don't think that's a problem. It takes 2 minutes to unplug. If you're plugged into electricity, to unplug it, unhook the hose.
Water.
Most of the time, we don't even hook up to electricity or the hose, and we just run off the batteries and solar.
Yeah.
I love it. It's just very maneuverable. That's, I guess, the one-word description. Heading from Louisiana to Acadia National Park in September. Have you been there? Recommendations? We love Acadia. Acadia has a really challenging situation now with closings and when things will open, if at all. It's a very political situation there as well. So be sure and watch that. Get a reservation. If you do get a reservation, because Acadia is a very popular park, gorgeous national park. But if you do get a reservation, there's lots of campgrounds there. Make sure it's cancelable. If their governor continues to have it locked down, which she just may do.
It's super locked down.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Michigan. It's
I think it's maybe even worse than Michigan.
I don't know. So it's pretty crazy. Cheryl, we were at Melbourne Beach 2 years ago and go there the same day as the red tide. Got there the same day as the red tide. Yeah, we don't have the red tide up here in the Panhandle.
We do. We've just once
Not
we
bad,
were
though.
here, and
Not
it
like
wasn't
down
that
there.
bad. I mean, we were in Destin in a store, and I just, started acting up, and I wasn't even near the water. I mean, if there were red tide, I would have to leave because I have allergies.
2 years ago, I think it was really bad.
Red tide can come, I think, anywhere in Florida.
It was particularly bad in the South Gulf Coast, from Sarasota south in that area. And up here they had a touch of it, but and I noticed it too because we were at a shopping. We were up in Destin, and we came out and we both were coughing. Yeah.
If there were red tide, I would have to leave. So what happened when they had the red tide? What was the question?
Nothing. They just got there the same day.
Oh,
hey, our friend
sad.
Renee. Hey, Renee. What is BLM land? It's Bureau of Land Management, and it's
and
gorgeous.
You would love it.
I can't believe you don't know that with your Jeep. Renee's a big Jeeper. Particularly in Utah and out west, Arizona, it's public access land. You can boondock and camp there. It's just awesome places. There are some organized campgrounds on BLM land, but most is just boondocking. Bureau of Land Management, and we've got a couple of big stories here on our blog, rvlifestyle.com, that will take you to where there's guides and how you can find out where to go. And it's pretty neat. Let's see. I'm looking for questions. Do you call mobile tech in Florida? If so, who?
Depends on where you are.
Where we are up here in the northern part in the Panhandle, it's Lacey's, Laceys, Lacey's. But here's the way to find it. Call up or go to a campground and just look in one of the public buildings. They'll have a bulletin board, usually where you register. They all have, or they'll have the cards of mobile techs, or just Google mobile RV tech in whatever area you're in, and you'll find them. But campgrounds are really the best place to find them. Just ask them, and they'll recommend the local guy. Is the water in beaches super clean compared to what you've seen before? It is. This is the time of year. It's the clearest ever, and it is just crystal clear. They call this the Emerald Coast, and it's known for its clear water and the beautiful emerald color of the water because of the minerals or stuff that are, I guess, that are in it.
But there can be June grass.
June grass shows up starting in
Seaweed.
June, and usually sometimes off through August.
When the water
It's
gets
like
warm.
seaweed, little seaweed. Not, it's there.
I was surprised. My kids from Georgia, they didn't even notice it. My kids from Michigan were like, "Ugh."
Yeah. Mark says he's getting a new RV in June. What gadget or tool would you recommend for a new owner? Where do you want to start?
Now you opened a can of worms. He wants every gadget.
Oh, gosh. That's what I did is I just kind of bought every gadget when I started because I do like gadgets. And my recommendation is now just go out and try it with what you have. And then as you say, oh, I need this, then pick stuff up. Because so many of the things that you think you need, you take up space and you never use them.
Is it possible to join a group of whatever brand you have? And if there's a group out there, an owner's group, they can suggest what you need?
Most all RV manufacturers have an owner's group, and they usually have a Facebook page. So look it up. If it's a Pleasure Way, there's a Pleasure Way owners group. There's a Leisure Travel Vans owner group. And of course, there's our group. If you haven't ever been to our group, it's just go there and sign up. That's our mailing list, and that will get you. Oh, I gave you the wrong one. That'll get you our email list. But you'll get lots of discounts. What you really want is our Facebook group, which is right here. We have 30,000 members who can help you, and you could ask that question, and you'll get lots of suggestions.
And where to go, where to camp. I'm in this area. What do you recommend?
Yeah.
What I want to say is when we first got our RV, we went to Quebec to a rally. And I had no idea we needed so much tweaking. They were wonderful.
Yeah.
They kept saying this.
Yeah, that was the first time we ever got a leisure travel van. That was, they were great. And they all spoke French. We were the only ones that didn't speak French, but they even assigned a translator for us, but we didn't need.
Hey, they were going to invite us back this year. We
Yeah.
didn't get invited.
We did get invited.
We did? You didn't tell me.
Yeah, it's in June though, so that's and who knows what June's
Oh,
going to
yeah,
be
who knows
like.
what. Well, you didn't tell me.
Yes, I did. I thought I did.
Well, here I was feeling like.
Our buddy Steve is retiring June 1st, headed to Velicito Campground in Colorado, June 24th reservations. Good for you, Steve. We have a great guide in our RV Lifestyle 7-Day Adventure Guide books. We have a whole one on Colorado. If you've not been there, you can find that on our books page, which is right there. Give it a try. And we've got a guide to Colorado. If you're heading there, it's such an awesome state for RVers, and that's great. Let's see. LTV diesel and propane generators are both optional. Not sure why you wouldn't want one or the other. I'm not either, Sydney. I would not get one without it. And we have the propane and love it. Have no problems with it. So let's see. Oh, here it is. Ivan must have gone and checked the generator snap. Do you recommend a diesel or LP? I recommend the LP. Those are the only two options. Sorry for the ignorance. We're truly newbies. I'm happy with either one is fine. Some people don't like propane. They've read the stories about fires, and many of the fires are started by faulty propanes, and those are usually
And spiders building nests.
and people not maintaining them and stuff. But either one is fine. 7,800 is a lot. That's a lot of power. But I think that's a typo. I thought that's 3,800. I bet. But the LP one is what we have in ours. Let's see. Oh, and all right, here's a question you mentioned. How would people check? Sandy says in South Carolina, upon arrival, all IDs are checked, and you will not be allowed to check in if you're from one of those, apparently one of those hotspot states. So that's pretty crazy.
Well, I can't blame them.
Yeah. Cheryl, hi from South Carolina. I'm looking for, okay, there's a comment regarding Wisconsin. Many county parks open for camping May 4th, and they're mostly full. Wisconsin State Parks open for camping on June 1st as of now. Good for you, Frank. That's pretty good. Almost everything, says Sam, in Alaska is closed. Disastrous results to the tourist industry.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah. Now you're a little early, if it opens up in June, you'll be fine because, they open a little later up there. But that's good. Somebody who watched our interview with Robert, you said you wouldn't go back to Europe. Really? Why not? Greetings from Ireland.
Oh.
Well, I'll tell you what. I would go to Ireland in a heartbeat. That's about the only place, and I've never been to Ireland. I've been all over Europe.
I want to go to Ireland since I've discovered that I have a little bit of.
Yeah, you wangle us an invitation, and we will be there. I would love to go to Ireland.
We went to Scotland.
Been to Scotland. I've been to Wales. Been all over England. Been to Germany. Been up and down. But
all working
stuff. But Ireland, I would love to go, and I'd love to camp there as well. That would be great. So, So that's the only one I did. I think I mentioned that. Maybe I didn't. Maybe it didn't get in the interview. But that's great. We were on. Somebody mentioned that earlier on Traveling Robert's interview of the week this week.
And he couldn't believe we didn't want to go to Norway and Sweden? Was that where he was suggesting?
Yeah, he suggested, I think, Sweden. He says a good
We had an opportunity to go to Sweden, and we never followed through because we were too busy.
We kept getting asked by one of our sponsors kept wanting us to bring us there at a factory, and we
missed a wonderful opportunity, but life was just too busy.
We made a decision this year because we've turned down so many great trips or not been able to take trips that we liked because they would have conflicted with a commitment. People, RV shows bring us in to do personal appearances, and we love doing that, but we were doing so many of them that we never could put together enough time to go and do an extensive traveling. So this is the year we decided we're only going to do one or two of the RV shows. And of course, this is the year that traveling is completely shot, at least the first half of the year, sir, is. So,
and I don't know how they can have RV shows.
I don't know either. I don't know.
Distancing.
Yeah, it's crazy. Mike, have you ever checked out Coach House there in their Class Bs? We've looked at Coach House in many of the RV shows. They make them in down in the southern part of Florida. They're a nice Class B. They're very expensive. Small little company. They make. Too
bad we didn't stop there. See if we could have done a factory tour when we were down that way.
Yep, we'd like to do it. Dan, do you travel with a weapon? Dan, if whether I do or not, I wouldn't tell you. So how's that? I wouldn't tell you. It's just you
can't go into Canada.
That's another one. You can't win.
That's another one.
You can't win with that question.
It's like religion and politics. You don't talk about weapons.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, if you ever get around a campfire, talk to me, and I'll have a conversation with you. But you can't bring that up here because people will start screaming
and
yelling.
Everybody's a bit on edge right now anyway.
Yeah, everybody's tense, so let's not go there. Michael Thompson, super chat. Thank you, Michael. Mike and Jen, I quoted the AKC a few weeks ago saying dogs did not get COVID-19, but recently there's been a confirmed case that a dog picked it up.
I saw that on TV.
Story. Saw that on TV. Yeah. I'd like to see a whole bunch more cases like that before I would think that happened. But we saw that same story, Michael. Don't
know.
Yeah. All right. Looking for questions. And here's a comment from Tracy Miller. We're near the Adirondacks. Please don't be discouraged by Lake George. It's an anomaly and a favorite destination for New York City folks. Yeah, it was. Choose areas like Blue Mountain. We've been there, and we love the rest of. That's the only thing I just don't like big campgrounds like that.
It's the big campground.
Actually, we liked Lake George. We had a great time on Lake George.
We
did. Some of our viewers saw we were in the Adirondacks, and we never have done this before. They invited us. They had a guest house, and they invited us there, and so we went. And actually stayed in their guest cottage for a couple of nights.
And they even accepted our dog.
And they accepted Bo. We went on a boat ride with them, and we loved Lake George, but we just didn't like that big campground.
And you
that we
can't
were
take
in.
me anywhere. They take us out for breakfast, and I fall flat on my face.
Good thing it wasn't dinner.
I think it wasn't dinner, huh?
Yeah. Walking on the dock, and yep. Ivan and Josie, just wondering how people who have opted for a macerator feel about their choice. I would never get an RV without one. I would never get one without one. They're just so convenient and clean, and I would, I love them.
And there are some things in life I don't learn
Yeah.
because once you learn it, then you got to do it.
Yeah. I love this answer. This is from Davis, Tandy, and Buster, and it's about that question about a trailer and a motorhome. And he says, with the trailer, the vacation starts when it's all set up. True. With a motorhome, it's the moment you leave your driveway.
Aw.
I like that. That's a really
That's a
good
very
thing.
good answer.
Yeah. Edward Varga, bummer here concerning a park model community in Pennsylvania that just reopened this morning for owners to access their trailers, just ordered closed by a county judge.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you can't win. And I'm getting restless. You can't see. Jennifer
I'm
keeps
tapping his leg, telling him, filter.
Yeah,
Filter.
I won't.
Because we're all kind of
Yeah. You guys too.
anxious to go.
Yeah. Yep. Somebody put another fire on the
Another log.
another log on the fire, and it's just insane out there, trying to figure out what's there. But I am pretty convinced that nothing is going to really shake loose until a little later, a couple weeks before we can really get an idea and begin to plan where we want to go and what we can do this summer. I mean, I think we'll be out there, don't you think? I don't think there's any doubt that we'll be able to do some
We'll be
camping.
out there.
But yep, it's going to be just crazy. All right, I'm going back to the top of the list, okay, just to acknowledge that was Marty Santic who said he felt safe in the RV in Webster. Is it time to head north, possibly to a worse area, or wait another 4 weeks? At least another 2. Wait another 2, and I would do that. I think that's probably what I would do.
Depends on how much you want to go home.
Ken Michelson was on today. Said their granddaughter loves the dip net, and says thank you.
Well, Riley's welcome to it.
That was,
Riley was spearing minnows, and so I picked up a little net for her.
that's Ken's daughter, and
Granddaughter.
We meet them at the dog park every morning.
Every morning.
Yeah. Let's see. Davis Tandy from Rochester, New York, where Kodachrome was invented. It's always gray there, he says. Yeah. That's great. All right. I'm just going back to see if I missed anything from any of you before we wind down, start to put some steam on the campfire. And I think we're all set. I'll go back to
I'm
the
wondering
end.
why there's still cars out there and people on the beach.
Well, I think they're not going to do anything until it's dark, but there are still a lot of people out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really are, quite a few.
My watch will not go to Central Time, so I'm on Eastern Time.
Yep, and
I guess, okay, that's why they still have time.
yep. So I thank you guys. Let's see, we've got about 300 people on, and I got some comments that video that we showed at the beginning of the area had bad sound at first. So I'm going to put it through again, and we're going to play that video. It's just a couple minutes long, but if you just joined us, one of the things that has given us great joy here in the Emerald Coast of Florida is that the beaches, after almost 2 months now, have opened up, and limited hours. But what a difference being able to go outside makes. And we're going to just show you that video. And if you missed it, take a look at it. And the sound will be running good this time. And we hope
I hope the sound runs
we
good.
hope this gets you as excited as it made us to be out there this morning. Well, good morning. It is a little bit after sunup on Friday, May 1st, and wow, the beaches are open. This is the first time since mid-March that the beaches here along this stretch of the Panhandle up by Destin, we're on Okaloosa Island. First time that they have been opened, and it's kind of an experiment. They're trying it now for about 2.5 hours right around sunrise and 2.5 hours before sunset. The beach is, well, there's probably, I can see maybe 100 people if I look up and down the beach. Maybe I'm looking over, I can see probably a mile both ways, and you can see people walking. They're keeping their distance. There's some fishermen out. There's a paddleboarder or two out. The beach patrol is here. They're going up and down the beach, making sure people aren't too far apart. Some folks have set up chairs and brought their morning coffee and are just sitting out on a glorious late spring day looking at the water, which is perfect. There's no wind, the water is flat, calm. It's really nice to see the beaches open again and have access to them. For a lot of people, this is the first real concrete sign that things are getting back to a sort of normal. Certainly a different normal than before, but when the beaches are open, you can just feel everybody's spirit lifting. In fact, there's a quiet out here, almost a reverence. It's nice to see things, at least in this part of the world, looking like there really is a glimmer of hope.
Starting our second shift of being allowed on the beach. There's the morning and this is the afternoon. It starts at 4:30 and it ends at sunset, and people are starting to trickle out and enjoy the sand and the beautiful water, the breeze, the sun. It's beautiful out here. I'm seeing lots of happy faces, lots of smile. There's a lot more young people out later in the day versus the 6:30 in the morning crowd. But everybody's social distancing and just enjoying the beauty of creation.
Now you see why we love the Emerald Coast down here in Florida. So that's a little video we shot just for you guys today, and maybe we'll see if we can find something that we can shoot on Sunday. If you have any questions that you want, anything you want us to get a little video on Sunday, if you want us to shoot something in the RV that you want to see, something easy, a little demo, send us a note. Don't put it in the comments because I might lose them in the comments. Well, you can put them in the comments. I'll find them. Phyllis will find them. Thanks to Phyllis for being here. There were a couple of questions that came in, and we've got a couple of minutes here, so we can jump through and answer them. And then we'll be back Sunday night with our Ask Us Anything. Let's see. Oh gosh, now I got to go all the way down to find those right questions. And it was okay. This is from Despina. She says, "What's your current recommendation for Wi-Fi?" A MiFi card. We have the Verizon system, and I think Verizon has the best network in North America right now. So we have the MiFi card, and that is the solid thing. I do have a cell phone booster, a WeBoost, but they're extremely expensive, and really the network is so strong now that I don't need that booster, except maybe in very, very seldom in the most remote places out there that I could find. So check that out, and hopefully that'll help. Diane wants to know, what camping app do you recommend for Android phone? Allstay doesn't work anymore. Try, with Android you're in trouble. Try Dyrt, D-Y-R-T. I think they just added an app. They do have a website. It's a really neat little service, and we'll probably tell you more about them. I might do a video on them in a couple of weeks. But DYRT, it doesn't get a lot of attention. Also look at Campendium. Campendium is a pretty good app too. So you can find that. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed that. I don't know where you are and what it's like where you are, but as you can see, we've got a glimmer of hope here on the Emerald Coast, and we do think we'll be camping. It's just not quite time yet, a couple of weeks. And again, if you have something you want us to do a special video on, that we can roll like this in our Ask Us Anything on Sunday, type it in there, and we'll do our best.
Do we share that glimmer of hope in Florida is on Monday? The stores are open, 25% of the normal people
Yep.
can go in.
Yep.
Restaurants are opening, again, 25% capacity. And what else?
Well, restaurants with 25% capacity inside, but if they have an outside area, as long as it's
Gotta keep your distance.
6 feet apart, you're great.
And shopping, just plain old shopping. You
Yep.
can shop.
Yep.
What they kept closed were the gyms, bars, and hair.
And here, everybody thinks you got a haircut, so that's good. We'll go out to the sun.
It's illegal.
It's illegal. It's illegal.
Although somebody I know had their hairdresser come and she cut their hair on the patio outside.
Outside? Yeah, it's
With
gotta
mask
be.
on.
It's so hard for all these folks in the service
I
industries.
mean, her husband's disabled and they needed money.
Yeah. Hey guys, God bless you. Stay safe. This is ending. We will camp this summer. Not quite yet time, but we do have glimmers of hope. And again, don't forget, let us know what you want us to do a video, and we'll roll that in the Ask Us Anything on Sunday night here.
I'd say those that have a backyard are in luck. They can camp in the backyard.
Camp in your backyard. Yep.
If
Give
you
it
don't
a
have a
try.
backyard, you're in trouble.
Yeah. All right. Till next time, we'll see you down the road.
Happy trails.